All right. So, this video is kind of going to be a continuation on my first video about content creation being pretty hard in my opinion, right? Content creation being pretty hard. If you haven't watched that and you're watching this, I would probably recommend you go listen to that one. Um but in this video, this is essentially just going to be me. I got a comment on the video and it's a pretty lengthy comment. Um, I may or may not, put it up on the screen, but essentially, what it's talking about, it's a guy. And I think his YouTube name is like, hold on, it's on my other monitor here, K346. I don't know how you say it, but K346. He put a comment on my first video, and he also reciprocated some of the feelings that I was feeling both about content creation and a little bit about myself, but it was primarily about content creation. And essentially, what this guy said is he records his gameplay on PS5, right? And I understand that like PS5, it kind of has like its own thing for like a little bit of content creation, like Share Factory to edit your clips, and like I think it even has its own like live streaming function. I actually don't know if Xbox has that, but essentially, this guy, he makes his content on PS5 and he has to edit all of it on the PS5 because he doesn't have a PC or doesn't have a laptop. And I feel for him because obviously like I'm recording this like on my computer and I'm able to edit, on my computer. And I never like realized that like there are people trying to do like what I'm trying to do, but on a console, right? Like on a console, like Xbox or PlayStation. Like there are people trying to do what I'm trying to do. And thinking about it now, like if you really don't have like a PC or like a laptop to edit videos on, like it's gonna be so much tougher because then like you can't really I don't know how limited editing is on something like Share Factory. I have the comment pulled up on my other monitor here on my left, and he says it's extremely limited, and he can only do simple stuff like cut footage, put in sound effects, and put in music that is only in the Share Factory app, which is so limiting because like granted like trying to put in music like on its own is already limiting because you have to worry about copyright and all of that. Luckily, the music I used in my outros and all of my and in my oh I literally could have just died. And in my previous videos, I get them from Dova Syndrome, which is all copyright free, right? But like this guy, he doesn't have access to that. He can't put that in like his videos that he makes. I went to his channel and I don't think he's uploaded in a little bit, but he does. He posted like Splitgate stuff. I've never played Splitgate, but he posted like Splitgate stuff, and they get like 20 something views or something. I don't know how good his retention is, granted, but like if you're just looking at a view standpoint, I wouldn't say that's not that bad. I mean, it's a way better average than I get, 100% with my past videos. But he says he would play for hours and hours and hours of footage just to come out with a 15 to 30-minute video. And he also says sometimes he doesn't even like the videos he makes because he feels like it wasn't good enough for the people to watch. With my videos, 100%, I really sometimes felt like that. Genuinely. Like, I make a video, like the second time I did that Minecraft speedrunning video, right? I didn't want to do that video because I didn't want to essentially regurgitate the same idea. right? I wanted to come up with something new, but like I just didn't know what to do, so I just did the same thing. And I didn't like that, but I did it anyways, right? So I definitely feel like what he's trying to say here, I think at least, right? Says he tries and tries again, but he sees no success in the videos. But then he realizes I'm not gonna take off instantly, right? It's gonna take a lot of time and a lot of effort. Does it suck? Yes. Do I feel motivated to make more? Heck no. And keep in mind, like I'm like kind of paraphrasing or like kind of quoting like what he's saying. Like, and 100%, I do like see that too because like making good videos, like because like I said in my last one, not the first video, but my last video, I think editing makes up like 50% or something of like your YouTube personality or something. Was I already here, by the way? I might have already been here. I think I was already here. Holy, I literally think I made a giant circle. Um, but no, like, um, it drains you. Like, it sucks the motivation out of you. Working on a video, that like you recorded for a long time and you edited for even more just to see it like flop, pretty much. And it's very easy to get discouraged because I mean that like I got discouraged 100%. I loved my Resident Evil videos, right? The fourth one, or not the fourth one, the four videos. I love them, right? The first one not so much. And maybe not the second one. The second one was a little better, but maybe not the first one. But the third and fourth one I thought were really good, you know. The third and fourth one I thought were really good. And it sucked seeing them get like little views and no retention. And I think part of the why like I got no retention was because like to be completely honest, I don't really have I guess the YouTuber personality. Um I don't really have like the YouTuber personality, and yeah, that could just mean that I'm literally like just not cut out for this. Like I genuinely think that like anyone could like make it on YouTube. 100% I think. Um but like it's it's so demotivating. Like cuz like when I edited those videos, I sat there and I watched through the entire thing, right? Watched through the entire thing making my edits in that go, right? I was cutting stuff up, trying to, zoom in, zoom out and all that stuff, tweaking the audio and all that junk, putting in clips of like sounds and all that. And that by itself, I mean, that took a long time. I mean, like I said before, it takes a while for me at least. It took a while, and I did not like that. Right, I did not like that, and that's kind of like a large reason why I don't edit these videos because, like, again, I just don't like it. I don't like spending so much of my time editing. Right, editing a video when there are just other things that I want to do. There are just other things that I want to do. In the day. And I don't necessarily think my editing is that special, right? I don't necessarily think so. I don't necessarily think my editing is that like anywhere special. Like not really anything to write home about, to be completely honest. Um, but I mean, again, it's just like it's incredibly demotivating and really like for most people, it's just sad. You know, like it's disheartening. Truthfully, it is. It's disheartening to see a video that you work hard on, to see a video that you liked personally, that like you like personally, do so bad. And it's yeah, I mean, you can't do anything about it. It's just it is what it is, right? And I think that's the mentality to go through something like content creation, especially like in the early days of content creation, like now, right? And you have to be in it for the long run. You know, you have to be in it for probably such a long time in order to. There are a lot of people in here. In order to um make it like even just make pennies on YouTube. You probably have to be in it for like 1-2 years consistently. Genuinely. It might even take longer than that. 5 years. It could probably take 5 years to make like 10 cents on a video. Genuinely. I realize that. And it's kind of like what this guy says too. Like, because he says, like, does it suck? Yes. Does it make me feel like a disappointment? 100%. And I don't think that means that, like, you have a weak mentality. I think that just means, I just, I don't think it means you have a weak mentality, you know? Like, it just, I think it means that, like, you, as a person, you put expectations on yourself and your videos, thinking that, like, it's going to take off, regardless of what you might verbally say, right? Internally, you think about the expectations that are put onto you, that you put onto yourself. Because let's be real, when you're starting out, there are no expectations. Like, let's be honest, there are no expectations for you, right? Like, you 100%, everyone should have standards, right? But there is no expectation for you when you're starting out. Like, that's what I feel, at least. Like, there are no expectations for you, right? So when you put expectations onto yourself and your videos, and when those expectations don't get met, you kind of like buckle down and like think like, am I doing something wrong or something like that? When like it's just way too early to tell. And like you might not like that video probably hasn't even reached its audience yet. Right? So like again, you just have to be in it for the long haul. And it's 100% expectation. It's something I suffer with all the time. It's what I suffer with my videos and why I got incredibly discouraged. And I'm trying not to, put them onto myself with these ones because there are none with these ones. It's again, this format is just me playing Minecraft, probably making slow progress and just talking, just yapping, pure yapping because I love just talking. I just love talking, right? And you know, it's just like, but like the thing is, like, how do you fix that? How do you not have expectations on yourself? Like, how do you not put that on yourself? I think the only way you cannot put it on yourself is if you legitimately just like purely don't care. And I don't mean that in a way like you don't care like what kind of work you put out, right? To where it's like objectively bad, right? Like it's literally the definition of bad content. Because like I guarantee that like with my content, there are probably like with my Resident Evil series, I had 12 subscribers when I was posting my Resident Evil series. The first I only gained 2, and that was with the last episode that I posted, which was the 4th one. I only gained 2. I went from 12 to 14 across 4 episodes posted. I only gained 2. So clearly there was someone out there. There were 2 people out there, assuming these were real people, by the way, and not bots. Um, there were 2 people out there that wanted to watch my content over other people's content. Maybe like Jacksepticeye or Markiplier, you know? And to me, it's the thought. It's it's I and it's always been this way. It's the thought, right? The thought that, oh, I'm gonna watch this guy's video of Resident Evil Requiem over my favorite content creator's video of Resident Evil Requiem, which could have been Markiplier, could have been Jacksepticeye, could have been 8-Bit Ryan, you know, could have even been Corey Kenshin when he released his first one, right? Literally. But they chose to watch my video. Oh, what the hell? That thing's already blown up. I don't think I've ever seen that before. They chose to watch my video. What a scam, by the way, too. They chose to watch my video over someone else's. And I've been telling myself from the start, just the fact that out of the hundreds, thousands, hundred thousands, millions of videos that they see, that they get suggested and all that, they chose to watch me. For me, I think that means a lot, right? Because I'm I'm literally a nobody. Like, let's be real here, right? Oops. I'm literally a nobody, you know? Like, I'm quite literally just a nobody. And we can get rid of this. And you know, like, why would someone watch me, like, click on my video? They don't know who I am. Let's just get that straight. I have no subscribers. No subscribers. I guarantee you my video they'd never even seen me before. Yet they chose to watch me. You know, like, it kind of doesn't make sense, but like, I guess. And regardless of why, it makes me happy. Because that's the point, They chose to watch me over someone else's content who's way more refined, way more established, has a way more established figure, a prominent figure, far more likes, far more views, a better personality, better editing. They chose to click on my video, bro. Like, it makes me happy, because there are people out there, regardless of what content you make, there are people out there that want to see. There is an audience. I genuinely believe this. There is an audience for every single type of content out there. Truthfully. For real. Like, I'm not even joking. If there are people that have, this is going to be kind of wild too. If there are people that have diaper kinks, bro, straight up, if there are people that have diaper kinks, there's going to be an audience for people who want to see my type of video. The thing is, you just have to be in it long enough for these people to see. That's the thing. And I realize we kind of strayed off from, I guess, the main thing, but I just wanted to get that off my chest, right? But we kind of strayed off from the main thing, which is just, reading this guy's comment, right? Let me scroll down a little bit just so I can see more. By the way, Abandoned Village, I have not seen this. I've only seen like one of these, like maybe 3 times my whole time playing Minecraft. So that's kind of crazy, to me at least. Um, but he says K346 also says um uh oh shit. um he says he's felt lost sometimes, right? Countless of times, and he tells himself whatever he's doing, you know, does it even matter at the end of the day? And I could just, kind of just say like a cop out answer and say like everyone matters and that type of stuff. And like 100%, like everyone does, right? Um, let's just get that straight. Like everyone matters. I think everyone has a purpose, no matter how pointless things might seem. I think everyone matters, right? I think everyone has something to bring to the table. And it doesn't matter if you don't physically bring everything to the table. And like you could be at like what does that mean? You know? Like what does he do? What did this guy bring to the table? If you're the type of person who doesn't know what to bring to the table, don't feel discouraged because you bring yourself, dude. Like you brought yourself. And that shows something. Even though you don't have something physical to show for. You being there, you're physically there, you know? Being attentive, being, just helping out, being like you don't have to bring a tool to help on a carpentry project, right? To help someone on a carpentry project. You can literally just help them out by grabbing something for them, doing something for them, whatever. You know? Like it's stuff like that, you know. Um Continuing. He says, I told myself, does whatever I'm doing even matter at the end of the day? Is whatever I'm doing gonna make a difference in my life? Is whatever I'm doing gonna make a big impact down the line? Who knows? Life isn't easy. It never is. Right. And 100%, life is never easy, bro. I don't think there are things that you are given for free, and there are things that you are, that seem easy, that feel easy, that look easy, but there's a lot of things in life that are not. And all that matters is, if it's belief. Do you believe you can do it? And if it's as simple as if you believe you can, you can. If you believe you can't, you can't. And truth, like this might be a little blunt, but like if you believe you can't, then you might need to find something else to do. Something that you believe you can do. What do you believe in? You know? What do you believe in? What do you believe you can do? If you believe you can do YouTube, bro. It don't matter how good you are at editing. It doesn't matter how dry your personality might be. If you believe you can do it, you need to do it, dude. Like you need to do it. Do what fulfills your soul. Do what fulfills your soul. It doesn't matter how pointless you might think it is. It doesn't matter how pointless your mama thinks it is. It don't matter how pointless anyone thinks it is. As long as you believe you can do it, you need to do it, dude. Straight up. You need to do it. Do what fulfills your soul, bro. Honestly. Continuing again. He says, we all struggle, we all fall, we reach breaking points, but at the end of the day, we always break through. Break past our dark times and rise to become better. I felt the same way when I lend an ear to others. but never the other way. There are times when people do and I don't acknowledge it simply because I'm afraid to open up. I'm afraid that they'll see me differently or think I'm crazy or just some loser. We all need to open up a vent. We are simply human and that's how we are. First off, bro's just speaking facts here. Okay, I did mention in my first video that I did feel like I've always lent an ear to other people, and I've never really felt that way about like anyone else that I've met. Right? Like I always encourage other people and say, "Hey, I'm here if you need, if you want to talk about something." But I never really felt that way about anyone else, even when they verbally say it. Right? And I mean, 100% that could be how some people talk about with me, and that's totally valid. You know, that's totally valid. But I think again, and being afraid to open up, it's just this thing where like I genuinely believe, and I said this in my last video too. I genuinely believe that like society and humanity as a whole is just so closed off. It's so closed off, and I understand it 100% because I made this point in my last video. Why would you change the formula if what you have going on is already like really good? You know, like why would you? And you know, to me, you know, like 100% to me, and probably the vast majority of other people, that probably makes sense too. There is a lot of iron, by the way. I'm gonna smelt uh this iron. Um, like to the vast majority of other people, like that definitely makes sense. You know, it makes sense as to why people don't want to change a formula because that formula is already so well. Why would you potentially ruin it? You know, it makes sense. But then again, if everyone thinks like that, where are these people that are trying to get somewhere gonna go? You know, where are they gonna go? They have nowhere to go. And when they're calling for help, they have no one to talk to because no one wants to incorporate them. No one really wants to listen to them. You know, so like, I can't provide a solution. I'm just identifying a potential problem that I see. You know, I'm just identifying a potential problem. And I mean, hey, you know, sometimes you can't really do anything except acknowledge that, you know, it is what it is. You know, and if it is what it is, then it is what it is. You know, can't do anything about it. Continuing on with this guy's question or comment, not question. We are simply human and that's how we are. You're not alone in the struggle in life, but you will push through and become better. You will make it in YouTube if you keep going. We start small. The journey will be tough, but at some point you will reach the peak where you will start to grow and make it big in YouTube. Keep your head up high and look to the clouds to your future, not in the ground where you see yourself defeated. And that's the end of the comment. First off, I want to say K3, what is your name? K346. Big shout out to you for one, I'm assuming watching some of the video, right? I'm assuming watching some of the video. Even just watching the video and even just clicking on it. Thank you. Number two, like commenting your experience. I if I can remember, I don't even think I had like a I don't even think I asked for like anyone else's experience, right, with this stuff. I just wanted to say what I was feeling. I never asked I don't think I asked him to like or I asked whoever was watching the video to reciprocate if they or if they agree with me on it, right? I don't think so. But hey, big shout out to you, big dog. That's all I'm saying. Big shout out to you. And you know, 100% I agree. You know, we all start off small. You know, life isn't easy. Nothing really comes easy in life. nothing really is comes easy in life. And it's naive to think so, you know. And again, I want to talk about, I briefly want to like bring up success. Like when I in my first video or episode where I talked about success on a level that's comparable to like Jinxie and Queso and like Joe Bart. Like everybody wants their success, but nobody wants to do the effort and work that they put in to get there. And there's only a few select people that do, but it's rare that they ever do because maybe they quit too early or maybe they realize they're not cut out for it. But the people that do keep doing it, it's almost a hit or it might almost seem like a hit or miss, if they do make it or not. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just suggesting. Right. But no, like we break, yeah, like what this guy says. We break past our dark times and rise to become better. We do. We always do. There's always, doesn't matter how dark times may be. There's always a light at the end of a tunnel. There always is. Doesn't matter how dim, doesn't matter how dark the tunnel might be. As long as you keep going, at the other end of a tunnel, there's always a light. There always is. And being in the quiet, being in the dark for so long, like it does things to you. Honestly, it does things to you. Being in a place where your own thoughts, literally, your own thoughts become way too loud. It's suffocating. Even though you're alone and it's quiet, your own thoughts will smother and suffocate you. And it's unfortunate, man. Honestly, it's unfortunate. That's just how it is. And I mean, I wish I could say more, but like all I can think of is just like you have to keep going. You know, you have to keep going. You know, there's no way you can give up there. Because I know right now that if I give up here on this YouTube thing, I don't want to give up on this YouTube thing. I want to make this work. Somehow, some way. But if I give up on this, regardless of whether my content is good, regardless of what my content is, I know for a fact that later down the line, I will be disappointed. Not because maybe I didn't make it, but because I didn't try. I wouldn't have felt like I tried. And it's possible that like honestly I won't feel like I tried unless I do succeed. You know? And I want to succeed. But how I want to succeed, I I feel like how success with something like YouTube, I mean really it's like I kind of think it's just like I want to say partly I do want to think it is luck. But another part of it I just want to say it's just repetition. It's just repetition. Just keep going at it, keep stabbing at it, right? Until something lands. Because like I said earlier, there's an audience for everything. There is. There is an audience for everything. There is an audience for everything. But I mean, yeah, again, shout out this guy, K346, for clicking on the video, watching the video, leaving the comment, even like expressing his own feelings and getting maybe even like getting a little vulnerable himself. Big shout out to him. And on the contrary, like not on the contrary, but like, hey, K346, if you watching this now, bro, don't give up, bro. Straight up, don't give up. Honestly, and this goes out to you watching this video right now. If there's something in your life, oops, not something I wanted to do. If there's something in your life that is weighing you down, if you're doing something in your life where it feels like, am I gonna succeed? You know, I need to find something else to do or whatever. A time in your life where you're feeling dark, time in your life where you're feeling hopeless. Hey, remember that at the end of every single tunnel, at the end of every single tunnel, there is always a light. No matter how dim, there's always a light. And that light is infinitely, infinitely brighter than whatever darkness you're shrouded in right now. All you need is just a little bit of perseverance. All you need. That's all you need. You need to believe. You need to believe that you can do it. You need to believe that you can keep walking. Is this powdered snow? I feel like it is. You need to believe that you can keep walking. You need to believe that. Success starts with believing. Period. Success starts with believing.